Marc Cucurella has one of the most recognizable hairstyles in world football right now. When he runs down the pitch, it flows freely, unrestrained by any tie or band, while most players with long hair, Erling Haaland included, pull it back before kickoff. Some opponents even take advantage of it mid-match, giving it a light tug during a physical duel, as if it's just an accessory to grab. But this isn't fashion. It isn't superstition. It isn't a style choice made for better visibility on social media. Behind that flowing hair is a father's decision, one that, until recently, almost nobody outside Cucurella's closest circle knew about. Cucurella came through Barcelona's La Masia Academy and made his first-team debut in 2017. The years that followed were a string of loan spells until Getafe signed him permanently in 2020 after a successful loan return clause. In 2021, he moved to Brighton, where he had a standout Premier League season and was named the club's Player of the Year. The summer of 2022 brought his transfer to Chelsea. There he grew into one of the club's most trusted defenders, helping them win the Europa Conference League and the Club World Cup. In June 2026, he signed for Real Madrid on a contract through 2032. Just weeks later, he took the pitch for Spain at the World Cup in the United States, playing all 8 matches of the tournament, registering 3 assists, and being named to FIFA's Team of the Tournament alongside teammates like Rodri and Pedro Porro. Spain won the title, beating defending champions Argentina 1-0 after extra time, the country's second World Cup crown. He's at the peak of his career. But behind every one of those moments on the pitch sits something far more personal. Marc Cucurella and his wife Claudia Rodriguez welcomed their first child, a boy named Mateo. Just months later, at 13 months old, the family received news that would change everything. Mateo was diagnosed with autism. Cucurella has spoken about that moment without softening it. In one interview, he admitted, "When you learn your child is autistic, no parent is ever truly prepared.
The parents are not ready with this, so..."
It isn't a line delivered once for sympathy. He's repeated that thought in several separate conversations over the years, each time with the same weight in his voice. The diagnosis wasn't just a medical label for the family. It meant rethinking everything: how they planned their days, how they traveled, how they looked at the future. Cucurella has shared that family vacations are often difficult because Mateo prefers familiar surroundings, his own home, his own room, his own routine. Not because he doesn't want to travel with his parents, but because the unfamiliar brings a kind of anxiety most people will never fully understand.
It's difficult to be in other place.
One of the hardest challenges came not from the football world, but from something as ordinary as school. Mateo attended a mainstream school, a system not built around the needs of a child with autism. Cucurella and Claudia describe a period where nearly every day ended the same way, bringing their son home in tears. Some days they'd pick him up just hours in because the environment simply wasn't working for him. The parents took turns dropping him off and picking him up, trying to balance Marc's professional life, training, matches, travel with the squad, against the daily care their son needed. Claudia has since shared that she too often came home in tears alongside him, unable to fix something so far outside her control. Cucurella has acknowledged that one of the hardest parts of being a parent wasn't the diagnosis itself, but the feeling of helplessness, watching his child struggle and not being able to fix it right away. It was inside this environment of uncertainty that the decision was born, the one that would later become Cucurella's on-field trademark. On a football pitch, every player wears an identical kit. From a distance, from the stands, or through a TV screen, it's hard for a young child to pick out his own father among 22 people in matching colors, running in every direction. Cucurella decided to leave his hair long and loose, not cut, not tied into a bun or ponytail like most of his long-haired peers. The reason is straightforward. The flowing, voluminous hair makes Marc Cucurella instantly recognizable, even for a child for whom recognizing faces in motion can be a genuine challenge. Cucurella himself has explained it in the simplest possible terms. I grow my hair because he likes it, and so he can recognize me if he ever forgets. The sentence carries a double meaning. It isn't just about today's match, but about the future too, since autism can sometimes come with memory and recognition challenges over time. He's added something even more personal, that he would trade his entire fortune if it meant his son could be completely healthy. It isn't a line set for effect. It comes from a father who, every day on the pitch, carries a physical reminder of his priorities, woven literally into his own hair. The decision about his hair wasn't an isolated gesture of compassion. It's part of a way of thinking that shapes even Cucurella's biggest professional decisions. When negotiations with Real Madrid began in 2026, the natural expectation was that talks would revolve around salary, bonuses, contract length. Instead, Cucurella's first question to the club was whether Real Madrid had access to schools and therapeutic services suited to Mateo's needs. Money came second. The career move, joining one of the biggest clubs on the planet, was tied not to trophy ambition, but whether the new city and club could offer his son a better environment to grow. That's the moment the hair story stops being just a touching detail and becomes a full picture of one father's priorities, on the pitch and off it. Next time you see Marc Cucurella running down the right flank with his hair flowing behind him, know that it isn't an accident, and it isn't a style chosen for the cameras. It's a daily promise made by a father to his son, renewed on every training day and every match, without exception. The story of Mateo and Marc Cucurella isn't a story about football tactics or transfer fees. It's a story about how one of the most recognizable footballers in the world turned something as small as a hairstyle into a lasting connection with his child.